Alright guys, so today is currently November 12th, 2024, and basically I took two trades today, one in the London session and the other one in the New York session. So let's just get straight to it. Starting off with the London session trade, basically I was expecting price to go higher, right? And my reasoning for that was we had an hourly sweep, we had SMTs, so here NAS is going down and on ES price is going up, right? So SMTs formed, and we're also at around this time right over here, price was rejecting off the hourly fair value gap. That is right over here, right? So let's just go straight to the 1 minute. I actually did not take this trade in the silver bullet session, which honestly, like looking back, I should have, right? I could have gotten a better entry with less drawdown. However, I did see the opportunity here because I saw price, dip into the hourly fair value gap. I saw this as a sweep and I was looking for price to continue higher, right? So here we have a little fair value gap, right? We have a break of structure to the upside. We form a fair value gap and I'm looking for price to retrace into this fair value gap right over here, right? And that's when I set my limit order and I took the entry. So at this point, I'm waiting. I decided to risk a lot more. Like I said in the previous video, we're going to have to pay the monthly fee for this challenge anyway. So I decided to, risk a bit more. The risk reward wasn't great, but you know what? This was something I was willing to risk, right? And basically, as you can see, the first half was horrendous. Like price was just dipping down straight from the get-go, right? And eventually we did come back up, right? So price goes back down, goes up, we're in a bit of profit. I don't actually close the trade. Price spikes all the way back down, and at this point I thought I was going to get stopped out, but I did not. Luckily, right? We were so close. And price continued higher. And at this point, I said to myself, I already missed out on a TP once, right? I have to just take something off the table. And I didn't, it was getting really late, right? And I didn't want to stay up to watch this, to manage the trade. So I did decide to close the trade once price reached this area. And as you can see here, great call. That was pure luck. But yeah, I'll definitely take that because price just went straight down afterwards, right? As you can see here, this is the trading account history. These are the two trades, and this is the trade that we took. So on that trade, we made $235 and we went long, right? So I thought that was a pretty cool trade. I mean, definitely could have done a lot better. And I'll show you guys how this could have gone better, right? So basically the ideal entry would have been to wait for a silver bullet session to occur, right? So here is the silver bullet session, right? We should have actually just drawn a fib from the bottom to the top here. And as you can see, 0.5 is this line right over here. We could have looked to take a fair value gap entry right over here, which would have had minimal drawdown, right? Let's just say we took it right here. And, for risk sake, we'll just set a decent stop loss size, right? And the take profit would be up here. So right off the bat, this is a better risk to reward. We did not face much drawdown right here. It went relatively straight to take profit. So that was how I could have gone better, okay? Or at least in my opinion. So yeah, let's just move on to the next trade. All right, so moving on to the second trade, the whole idea was that I was thinking that price could go higher, and that was based on the previous hourly sweep and the SMTs, right? But there was definitely something I could have done a lot better. So yeah, let's just get into it. Basically, we didn't really get a sweep here. It wasn't great because I did still use this previous sweep to gauge price continuing higher to this fair value gap, right? So yeah, let's just go to the 1 minute. Basically, at this point, I didn't really think price had a reason to go lower. After all, we did literally just come and swept all this liquidity over here, right? We had a massive sweep of all this resting liquidity here. And I honestly didn't think price would come back down, right? We had massive candle and up candles, right? We had a massive wick and then we have massive up candles, right? So basically at this point, I'm like, okay, I think price can continue higher. So this was the whole trade, right? So initially the thought process was that, okay, we had this gets a bit confusing. So at first I'm expecting price to go higher, right? We have this hourly sweep and SMT right here. And then, this was also conflicting the other bias of, price sweeping this high over here and then continuing lower, right? We also hit the hourly fair value gap and we were rejecting off of it, right? So there were two ways I could have played this, and I think the way that I took, or the trade that I took, was not the optimal way. So basically at this point I was like, okay, I see that price is, I think that price is likely to go higher, right? We literally sweep this previous swing low right here, and I literally just take an enter once price starts displacing higher. Like the entry was actually pretty bad. So at this point we're up like 200 something, right? And we immediately go down, and I'm like, damn, that's rough. So eventually the next time, once we do hit this area over here, I actually just close out the trade, right? Because at this point I'm starting to think that the decision I made wasn't great in terms of my trade bias, right? Like what it should have done, right? Actually, I'll show you guys how the trade played out. But basically price continues lower, right? Like it continues a lot lower. So here, we did get lucky. We managed to escape with a $216 win, right? But price completely reversed. So what I should have done was definitely gone short. So I should have gone with my initial gut, basically, which was take the entry right over here, target the low right here, stop loss at the highs, and this would have been the optimal trade, right? Because as you can see here, the whole idea, we actually swept this previous high right here too. So we swept this high and this high right here, right? We're also rejecting off of this hourly fair value gap. And as you can see, we do have a wick right here, right? So I should have honestly, that's honestly what I usually would do. However, with all this bullish, sentiment in the market, I didn't really think price would need to continue lower, right? I honestly thought price would just continue higher, take out this area right here. Although in hindsight, we basically swept previous highs to continue lower, right? So that's where I went wrong. So yeah, I just got to keep that in mind for next time. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next trade. All right, guys. So today is currently November 17th, 2024. And for the rest of the week, I didn't end up taking any more trades. On November 14th, I actually did see an opportunity, but unfortunately, we did not end up getting entered into the trade, and it kind of just ran without us. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly show you guys the missed opportunity, and then that'll pretty much be it for this video. Let's get into the charts. So here we're on NQ on the 1 hour time frame. As you can see here, we have an hourly fair value gap. We have an hourly sweep and an SMT inside of the fair value gap, right? I'll show you guys ES, we had SMTs going up. And here SMT is going down. So at this point, I'm looking to take a long, right? This is, in my opinion, an A+ setup. Higher time frame fair value gap, SMTs within it, hourly sweep. Yeah, looking for price to continue higher. Let's just move to the 1 minute. So as you can see here, right, within the New York Silver Bullet session, I wanted to get an entry at this area right over here. And at the time, for some reason, I thought there was like a tiny fair value gap right here. But I guess when I zoomed in, I was kind of tripping a little bit. But basically, we drew a fib from the top up here to the bottom down here, right? I was looking for price to retrace to this area below the equilibrium price to get an entry to continue higher, right? So yeah, we also had a lower time frame sweep. We got this swing high, displacement higher. So here is the break of structure. And yeah, at this point, I'm looking to go long, right? Unfortunately, right here, price almost tagged us into the trade, but we never got entered. And the TP was actually at this high right here because we have relative equal highs. I'm looking for price to take this out, and there's also a fair value gap over here that I was hoping for price to completely fill as well. So yeah, we did end up missing out on this trade, which does suck, but thank God I actually closed the trade after the New York Silver Bullet session, because as you guys know, if you have been watching the charts, this dumped like hella bad. Actually, let's just go to the 1 hour. Yeah, price just dumped. I mean, no win, no loss. It's better than taking a loss, right? Alright guys, so that'll be all for this video. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's also a link in the description below for a free Discord server. I hope to see you guys there. And yeah, I mean, this week, pretty chill week. Ever since the election, I feel like something's changed, right? You know, for this trade that I just showed right over here, I was like, I definitely kind of felt an itch, right? Like I wanted to get entered into this trade, but it was also because it was an A+ setup, right? In my opinion. But like as close as price was to my entry, like honestly, I felt the itch and the need to like just do a market order. But then I thought to myself, like, you know, patience is a virtue. We all have to, like, don't think about the money, right? Don't think about the money. And honestly, I've kind of been struggling with that lately, ever since the election, because, you know, there's gambling, and then there's also like a whole bullish trend in the market. But I mean, as clearly as you guys saw, like the market's completely tanked, right? But yeah, I'm just glad that I was able to control myself in terms of like not FOMOing into a trade, right? I was very patient, and yeah, I mean, the money does get to me sometimes, but I just have to remember, like, you know, I'm not in it for the money. I mean, obviously I am a little bit, but I just have to remember that I just gotta stick to the plan, right? And the money will come. Because money is not a motivator, it's a byproduct of your motivation. And what motivates me is doing well in trading, right? And by that, I mean just executing a plan. You win, you win. You lose, you lose. You know what? It is what it is. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.